warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, we are from the last group. We will present about how adults talk to young children. For the first presenter is Nika, and the second presenter is Kamila Manda, and the third presenter is Putri Novira, and the fourth presenter is Jihan Nabila Hakim, and the last presenter is Putri Alisa. And we are planning their presentation. For the first presenter, okay,
Waalaikumsalam.
Both observe and impose the democratic principle when they talk to young children. They make what they say relevant, talking about the here and now of the past world. They encourage children to take their turn and make their contribution to the conversation, and they make sure that children make their contribution to school by correcting them. The here and now is not to talk to young children mainly about here and now. They make running commentaries on what children do, either anticipating their actions, for example, build me a tower down, said Jessica, picks up a box of building block, or describing what has his fence. That's right. Pick up the block, say just after time has done so. It does talk about the object children show interest in. They name them puppies, describe their properties, is very soft and very and talk about relations between objects. The puppies in the basket. And talking about the here and now, usually whatever is there under the sunlight, adults are usually very selective about the words they use. They seem to be guided by the following assumption. But the first assumption is some words are easier for children to pronounce than others. For the second assumption is some words are more useful for children than others. And the last assumption is some words are hard to understand and best avoided. Most languages contain very short words that are considered appropriate in talking to very young children. For example, adult speakers of English often replace the word for animals by word for their sounds, like or by diminutive words from the adult word like kitty and the sounds from cats, yes, or doggy. As one would expect, the dominant English by many words are found overlap considerably with the dominant young children first talk about. They include kinship, terms, and nicknames such as mommy, daddy, the child bodily function and routine, wee-wee, night-night, names of animals, games, and the occasional talk, peek-poo, choo-choo, and a few general qualities. And I think that's all for my explanation. Then I will bring it back to the board.
Waalaikumsalam.
And the second presenter will continue the explanation from what Adam said to young children. The psychologist Dr. has argued that the words parents use in speaking to young children anticipate the nature of the
adults select the words that seem to have the most immediate effects, but what their children might want to do. For example, it would be much more likely to say that's enough. They supply words for different kinds of food. The child might eat such as apple or orange, but not the word menu. They likewise supply the names of animals, but not the word animal. Adults are selective in another way too. They omit some words and word endings and avoid the polymistic other words. In fact, they do the same thing when talking to students. Adults also try to avoid certain words instead of using pronouns like he, she, or they. They often repeat the antecedent noun phrase instead, as in the boy was running, the boy climbed the tree, and
Ajawan kamera depan man makin
mom is going to leave the house, or I'm going to leave the house, or Daddy wants to tie his shoes, or I want to tie his shoes. Adults often use them in question addressed to children. For example, does Jenny want to say hi? Addressed to Jenny herself. Adults seem to realize that pronouns are complicated for young children, and so they try to avoid them. Okay, I think enough for me, and I will be back to the moderator. Okay, we come to the next presenter. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
How adults connect to them to them. And when speakers depend on their listener, they will rather than listening when they are spoken, but listeners are triggered. Adult speakers normally allow to be harder. They use attention gathering without trigger, which address to them rather than to someone else. And which address they love to be listening. And they use attention holders whenever they have more than one thing to say. For example, when they are telling a story. Attention gathering attention holders clearly use the word class. First consists of non-individual It is, for example, it was already the child name at the beginning of an address that but 4 years now that is effectively the maximum is for talking to small children, and for another population, without use is whispering. If children are sitting on their laps or standing right next to them, without listening directly into their ears, so it is clearly they are intended to listen. And speakers often really understand and slow and may touch a child's shoulder or chain. For example, as they begin to talking. They also use gestures to help child attention and frequently look and point to objects they name or describe. And the control function of language serves a number of goals, from getting a person's attention to establishing a social pecking order to monopolizing conversation. Only the first of this is relevant to baby talk, especially in phonology. And for the listener to mothers accuracy in hands, typically one hears a greater range of frequencies than in speech directed to the this range is heavily motivated by desire to get and hold the baby's attention. And mothers seem to understand that babies attach more to novel and correct signal than to monocle. And what another critical device is to increase speaking volume, a lot stuff, will generally get toddler to talk in her tracks, even if he doesn't yet understand the meaning of the word. Okay, I think enough. Back to the mirror.
Okay, I will continue the explanation is how we talk to children. Speech addressed to 2 years old is only half the speed of speech addressed to other people. When adults talk to young children, aged 4 to 6, they go a little faster but still speak more slowly than they do to adults. To achieve a slower rate, adults put in more pause between words rather than three of each word. Adults also use very short sentences when talking to young children. The short sentences are generally very simple ones. There is great deal repetition in adult speech to children. One reason for this is the adult use of sentence frame, like those in the left hand. Thus, repetitions provide structural information about the kind of frame the repeated unit, here the red one, can be used in it. Also, these contrasts are often highlighted by increasing the differences in color. This is indicated by the capitalization. Repetition also allows children more time to interpret without utterance, because they don't have to try to remember the whole sentence. Baby talk differs from talk between adults in characteristic ways. Even addressing babies, adult voice frequently assume a higher pitch than usual. Adult also exaggerated their intonation and speak slowly and clearly. Repetition and partial repetition is baby smiling at mommy, baby is smiling at mommy. I think this is it, and we go to the next presenter.
Okay, as the last presenter, let me explain about how necessary is adult speech. The fact that adults systematically modify the speech they address to very young children forces us to ask two questions. The first is the modification adults make necessary acquisition, and the second is even they are not necessary, are they at least helpful? For example, whether children would learn language if their only information came from speech they been overheard between adults or from what they heard on the radio or television. If they could, it would be clear that adult modifications are not necessary, even though they might be helpful. Experiments on these topics are difficult, if not impossible to devise, but occasionally a real-life situation presents itself in a way that provides a glimpse of the answer to this question. For example, the hearing children of deaf parents who only use sign language, sometimes they have learned spoken language as to them by adults until they enter nursery school. Exposure to a second language on television constitutes another naturalistic situation in which children regularly hear adults talking to each other. However, psychologists know and heavily it is important that young Dutch children who watch German television every day didn't acquire German. There are probably two reasons why children seem not to acquire language from radio or television. For the first is, none of the speech on the radio can be matched to a situation visible all the time and even on television. Children receive no clues about how to make their own ideas into words and sentences. Second, the stream of speech must be very hard to segment. They hear rapid speech that cannot easily convene to the familiar situation. All this suggests that one ingredient that might be necessary for acquisition is here and now.
We have presented all our materials, so we go to the next session. presentation. If you guys have any question, you may ask us. And you may raise your hands. Want to ask to our group, so I will give you some questions that I have prepared before.
Okay, do you understand the question? For the second question, okay, please listen for the second question. What does the psychologist Roger Brown review?
Yeah.
The question is, how the dogs use the language for baby talk? Our question is,
Istiana.
yes, yeah. And the question is, what are the reasons why children seem not to acquire?
This question is for Ilya and Dila. How the difference between the adult talks to the same age and children is for Mary. And for the question is, what is baby talk? Is the amendasi. And the question is, what is the function of cultural language? And for the gift to Novan Aziz. The question is, how do adults whisper to the young children?
Question for two persons. For the first is Latur Rahman, and the question is, what are the questions that adults systematically modify the speech and give the example? Do you hear, Latur Rahman? Okay, we go to the next person. I will choose Indriya. As the last question, it is about trying to give an example how adults talk to young children. We give a chance to answer the question.
The answer, they make running commentaries on what children do, either anticipating their action. For example, with me a tower now said just as a child pick up a box of building block or describing what has hit pen. That's right, pick up the block set just after a child has done so. Adult talk about the object children so interesting.
Yes, that's correct answer.
It is Cristiano.
I will answer the question number 4. There are probably a reason why children seem not to acquire language from radio or television. The first is of the speech on the radio can be imaged to a situation visible to the child and even on television people rarely talk about things immediately accessible to view for the audience. The second, the stream of speech must be very hard to segment.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I want to answer the question is in. Try to give an example how adults talk to young children. Baby talk differs from talk between adults in characteristic ways. Even addressing babies, adults face frequently assume a higher pitch than usual. Adults also exaggerate their intonation and speak slowly and clearly. Repetition and frontal reception, for example, is baby smiling at mommy. Baby is smiling at mommy. Is it right?
Yes, it is right. It is right. But can you give me an example? How you talk to your children? Your example, that conversation with your young children it is English.
Yeah, based on your experience, maybe.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
What is medical word for particular that is addressed to a leader than someone can say.
Okay, the answer is correct.
I want to try and solve your question just now. The answer is on your paper, page 4. That the project from psychologists has argued that the words parents use in speaking to young children anticipate the nature of the child's world.
Yes, good job for Patricia.
Yes, we did.
The psychologist Roger Brown has argued that the words parents use in speaking to young children anticipate the nature of the child's world. This seems to be true not only of baby talk words but also of the other words used in speaking to young children.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, I would like to answer the question how to wake the whisper to the young children. The answer is if children are sitting on their legs or standing right next to them, adults will speak directly into their ears. So it is really they are intended to listen. Speaker often rely on gestures as well and may touch a child's shoulder on chest, for example, as they begin talking. They also use gesture to hold child's attention and previously look at point yes they name or describe. Maybe that's that. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, that's good.
I would like to answer the question. So the question is, first, are the modification approximately second, even if they are not necessary, are they at least helpful? The example, whether children could learn language if their only information came from the speech they overheard between adults or from what they heard on the radio or television. If they could, it would be clear that adult modifications are not necessary, even though if they might be helpful.
Yes, that's right.
I know answer the question by idea. What is the counter-function of language? The counter-function of language saves a number of goals from getting a person's attention to establishing a social pecking order to monopolizing a conversation. Only the first of this is relevant to baby talk, especially in phonology.
Yes,
Speakers of English often replace the words for animals by words for their sound like meow, woof woof, or by a diminutive form of the adult word like kitty, cat, or dog.
Younger their speech address 2 years old is only half the speed of speech address others adults. When adults come to children age 4 to 6, they go a little faster but still speak more slowly than they do to adults. And to achieve a slower rate, adults put in more pause between words rather than stretch out each word. And adults also use very short sentences when talking to young children. The short sentences are generally very simple ones. There is great deal repetition in adult speech to children.